Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As we welcome you once again this morning to another edition of News and Views. I am Inayet Wadee with you on this Thursday morning, which is the 4th of November 2021. Welcoming our Salam Media listeners on the various platforms of Salam Media, and also our Al Ansar listeners, Durban, Pietermaritzburg, our viewers on ITV joining us this morning. And we are coming to you live from the IEC Results Operations Center. And today being the day where it matters most, we have learned at 6 p.m. This evening, the final results will be announced by the IEC. And well over 97% of the votes have been counted, appearing on the big leaderboard on the floor behind me. And at this point in time, not much of a change, I must say, by way of the numbers as reflected on the National Leadership Board, with the ANC at around 45.95%, the DA just over 21%, the EFF at around 10%, and the IFP at around 5.69%. Now, these are the leaders. But also when one drills down into the numbers and looks at it in a lot more detail, this is now a major shift from the election in 2016, where we had 27 hung municipalities. This time around, that number has more than doubled. It's up to around 62. And this is where coalition politics is going to play a role, coalition strategies, and it's going to be an interesting time, because I think most political parties at this point in time are looking at coalition strategies more than anything else, more than even focusing on what the results have actually meant for them. But right now, just to let you know what we are expecting on the show this morning, we will be talking about coalition governance shortly. We'll be joined by a director of student governance and development at Nelson Mandela University. We will be talking with Dr. Bernard Sibaki. We're also taking a look this morning at the ongoing non-recognition of Muslim marriages, and just looking at Muslim personal law. Attorney and member of the Muslim Personal Law Network, Zinat Suji, will be joining us. We're also paying tribute this morning to Wasim, to Wahid Kamruddin. We'll be talking to his son Wasim, and he was the owner of the Lenasia Times. Later on in the program, we'll be talking with an academic. We'll be doing a lot more analysis on the outcome of the municipal elections for 2021, and a lot more right until 10 a.m. this morning. So stay with us. Don't go away.
With up to 97% of Gaza's water supply unfit for human consumption, desalinated water is the only hope to avoid catastrophe. The Al Imdad Foundation has been operating desalination plants and delivering safe water in the Gaza Strip since 2014. Help us continue providing clean, safe drinking water in Gaza by donating your lila or sadaqah today. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Africa. For your convenience, the Africa Muslims Agency's Durban office has moved to 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, Durban. Our friendly staff are eagerly awaiting to receive, advise, and share with you the current ongoing campaigns and projects that you have been supporting for the last 35 years. Visit us at 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, or call 031 207 5676. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Babu, why don't you loosen your belt a bit more?
But why now?
Well, it's very tight, blocking air to your brain.
Haju, this is only a start. I need to tighten up a bit more. Funds are tight and the cost of living is high.
Funds are not tight. It's your haram insurance which is tightening our barakat.
Okay, Haju. I will call my insurance friend tomorrow.
Maybe I must tighten up on my cooking from now on too.
No, Haju, we don't need to tighten up. It's okay. Look, I'm even throwing away my belt.
Don't tighten your belt. Change your insurance. Leaving Riba Insurance is easier than you think. Call Amana IFS for all your personal and commercial takaful needs. 0861 786 393. Amana, leave Riba for good. Amana IFS is a registered financial services provider.
Did you know a sponsored water well and borehole allows children to go back to school, empowers communities, and is a means of sadaqah jariyah? There are many villages in Africa and Afghanistan that are in need of water wells and boreholes. Sponsor a water well in Africa at 14,500 rand. For a borehole in Africa and Afghanistan at 49,500 rand. Call Africa Muslims Agency on 011 834 8685 or donate at Africa Muslims Agency. .co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media, your humanitarian broadcaster.
The time is just gone 18 minutes past 9 a.m. as we continue with the show this morning. And we kick off this morning the buzzword in South Africa as the outcome of the municipal elections is awaited. What is going to materialize by way of coalition governance? Who is going to get into bed with whom? And these are critical questions that are being raised, considering the fact that we have got many hung councils around the country, municipalities, and also looking at the metros like Mangaung, Ekurhuleni, eThekwini, looking at Gauteng, and also looking at the city of Johannesburg, for instance, because there are no outright majorities. And we joined this morning on the show by Dr. Bernard Sibake, who is Director Student Governance and Development at the Nelson Mandela University. Dr. Sibake, good morning to you, sir. Welcome to the show. We seem to be having a slight hiccup. Dr. Sibake, good morning.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
Yes, wonderful that you are able to join us this morning now. Clearly the picture is emerging, and a very, very clear picture. No outright majorities in a number of metros. And we've seen since the last election where coalition politics came into play in the 2016, but we know at that point in time a lot of horse trading, but also a very, very messy situation as far as coalition goes, more so because of the ideologies and the direction that the various political parties are heading, Dr. Sibake.
Yes, of course. I think the South African democracy is maturing generally and gradually, where voters are spoiled with choice. And obviously, it also shows that political parties have to really embed the culture of working with one another, because there's no outright majority. And as a result, coalition talks will then emerge, but I'm sure the lessons of 2016 coalitions that emerge will improve as we move along in order to ensure that the dysfunctional municipalities that have emerged out of the last, the coalition will then improve from strength to strength. That's the expectation.
Yes. Now, also looking at the political parties individually in terms of their thinking, their strategic thinking as far as coalitions go, because as I mentioned, each party is unique in terms of its vision, its direction, and also its ideology. And the key question is, what would be the perfect fit? What would be the perfect match? Because at some point in time, they are going to have to get into bed with each other.
Well, I think the bigger challenge at this stage is that one would see action SA pairing very well with economic freedom fighters and the Freedom Front Plus pairing very well with a Democratic Alliance, because outrightly the sense of majority of parties not wanting to pair with the ANC, perhaps because of its history of governing, which has been plagued by many scandals here and there. So I think my perfect match will be, as I explained.
Yes. Now, yesterday we heard various political personalities making certain points and also providing some sort of an overview as to where they would like to see coalition governance and how they would like to see it. And for instance, the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, Jesse Duarte, talking about majority and those that have the most support obviously should govern. Now, without having an outright majority, again, we are looking at a party that is talking about having more support, and that would give them the right to basically govern. Just your thoughts, when we're talking about, and as you mentioned, it's our democracy has matured to the extent where it is going to be a give and take situation and not a one-way street where a majority wins.
The bigger challenge with the coalition in local government in South Africa as far, we are not locally grounded. We are actually controlled nationally. Political parties will really come with their set of principles. It looks like the reflection by the ANC in terms of their own principles will be the one who has a majority must be the one who did that thing. But if you listen to the reflection by the economic freedom fighters, their view is that we will not have one state where those who claim to be having majority will want to lead everywhere where they are making coalition, which shows to you that the give and take to them is like, if you leave Mangaung, allow us to leave Johannesburg. If you leave Johannesburg, allow us to leave city of Tshwane, regardless of whether you are in majority. So, majority. As a result, it shows to you that that coalition they think about is not going to be a localized coalition, but it's going to be something that is determined across the country at the national level.
Exactly, and I think this has been the point even in the build-up to the elections that we have been making, Dr. Sibake, about the national political agenda overriding what takes place at a local level, and particularly looking at bread and butter issues, day-to-day issues in terms of governing a district or a municipality or a metro.
I didn't get your question right.
Yes, I'm saying how the national agenda, the national political agenda plays out and how it impacts on local governance, and ultimately when we're talking about service delivery, we're looking at municipalities and how they are run, and all of that is impacted by the national political agenda that is playing out by some of these political parties.
I think that's an absolute experience that we went through in the first coalition government that is merged out of the 20 local government. Once political parties differ at the level of legislation in parliament, they then begin to move out of those coalition and call motion of incompetence, but they get elected to lead as mayors of those coalitions. And you then realize that the national agenda compromises the local agenda of service delivery, because that municipality will then be flagged by instance. So I think if that particular instance will then improve as we move into this new coalition principle, we will be able, because I think the best strategy is to localize this coalition so that it could be the people's government at the local level so that they have more say. And ideologically, it's about putting that ideology to serve the purpose on the ground, not at the national agenda, because that ought to become problematic in terms of what people-centered.
Dr. Sibake, what are your thoughts on legally binding coalition contracts? Because this is what the DA has been talking about drawing up legal contracts when they go into coalitions with the various political parties or players.
The only bigger challenge with legally binding, coalition is that the only arbiter of those coalitions will most probably be the court, because even if any government at the next level, which at this stage will be a presidential level, would want to intervene through the constitution, political parties are recognized as individual political parties, and the administrator cannot administer the political agreement that has been put in a legal term. So that agreement will only be applied by the court, but it does not avoid any emerging instability that can be caused by, the question of lapses in terms of the implementation of the agreement of the court.
Well, Dr. Bernard Sibake, thank you very much for that and taking time out this morning talking to us here on Salam Media and all the other platforms that we are broadcasting this morning. We wish you all the best. Please take care.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Bernard Sibake, Director Student Governance and Development at the Nelson Mandela University. Just an overview on coalition governance, which is going to be a major talking point over the next few days.
Approximately 785 million people in this world do not have access to safe, clean water. In developing countries, around 80% of all illnesses are due to contaminated water and poor sanitation. Don't let dirty water end a life. Build a water well. In Bangladesh, Malawi, Nepal, Zimbabwe, or here at home in South Africa, donate to Penny Appeal's Thirst Relief Project to bring safe, clean water to communities around the world. www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
What makes Randery Jewellers the optimum place for your memorable gift? Is it our range of exclusive, high-end, luxurious jewellery? Or is it our master craftsmanship of all your bespoke jewellery needs? We believe it's because at Randery Jewellers, we know just how to make your special moments last forever. Whether it's for a wedding, anniversary, or just a simple gift to show your love, trust Randery Jewellers to make it special. www.randeryjewellers.com. Make your moments last forever with Randery Jewellers, the family name you can trust.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness, and every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
I've been waiting. Gift of the Needy is working tirelessly to bring relief and hope to families burdened by poverty and distress. Our ongoing projects include aid to those affected and infected by COVID-19. Donate now. Standard Bank, Gift of the Needy, Zakah account 272-327-654. Visit our website on www.giftoftheneedy.com. Call 031-271-3102. Gift of the Needy, bringing ease to those in need.
Freedom Stationery supply Marlin and Marlin Kids pens to me and my school friends. They supply just about everything we need to help us get a better education, from books to files to rulers. In fact, any any accessory we need. Freedom Stationery. Education for the nation. What does accessory mean?
On the 1st of November 2021, Mzansi heads to the polls.
Stay tuned and in touch as Salam Media brings you the latest news and insights on your local government elections, live from various voting stations.
Be sure to exercise your right and vote wisely, because your vote makes a difference.
Remember, your vote is your voice.
This is Salam Media. Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
He stepped inside his home, he was overwhelmed with fear. An angel came with words from God, things were still unclear. Saying, read, read, but he could not read. Amazing words that he heard. Trembling deep inside his heart, confused by
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
The time is just gone 8:34 a.m. as we continue with the broadcast this morning. Now moving away from the elections, we are focusing on the non-recognition of and non-regulation of Muslim marriages in South Africa. Now the Muslim Personal Law Network has made a submission, and this is to CEDAW, which is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, and this is at the 80th evaluation session in Geneva, which took place on the 1st of November. We joined on the line by attorney with the Muslim Personal Law Network, Zinat Suji. Zinat, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome. Yes, wonderful that you're able to join us. If you could just up your volume slightly, Zinat, we're not hearing you very clearly. But just looking at the submission made by the MPL to CEDAW, just some background and just to put this submission into context.
Sure. Is this better?
Yes, much better. You can continue.
Sure. So thanks for that. What happens with the CEDAW committee is that every 5 years the state actually has to report to the CEDAW committee on its compliance with the convention, and all organizations has an opportunity then to respond to the state periodic report. The MPL network took this opportunity to respond to the state's report by stating that there were steps that were taken to regulate Muslim marriages, but it's not enough. And if they continue 7 years and we've not had any regulations or recognition of Muslim marriage in South Africa, there is no law that is regulating it. So this was what has happened. We had the opportunity to make an oral submission on Monday, the 1st of November, and the state would then have the opportunity to respond to all organizations tomorrow, that's the 1st of November, to which the CEDAW committee would then provide the state with its observations and ask for immediate or urgent kind of points to be responded to within 2 years of the session. So that's the process broadly. Our submissions were basically stating that it's 27 years, and we've had no regulation, as I've stated. We've given the CEDAW committee a complete chronology of events that has transpired from 1994 to date, which includes the consultations that took place in the 90s, just after democracy, the 2010 Muslim personal the bill that also did not come into effect, and finally the current litigation that's before the Constitutional Court, and we're awaiting judgment. So that's the report, our report in a nutshell.
Report before it has been submitted, things like research and also looking at practical problems that we are faced with as a result of the non-recognition or the non-regulation of Muslim marriages in the country.
Yes. So, I mean, we've also provided, in the report, we've provided lived realities of women that we've worked with who've had challenges that they faced because of non-regulation, which was not being able to get a divorce expeditiously, being left destitute without any maintenance, spousal maintenance, child maintenance. The struggles that women have been facing, even when their husbands pass away. So having intestate succession or testate succession, where they're not given any of their due benefits or the estate is not bequeathed to them. So these are the ongoing challenges which the committee should know what's actually happening on the ground, and we have provided them with these kinds of scenarios, and which are the lived realities of many Muslim women in South Africa.
Zinat, in your report, you have made specific reference to specific issues that you'd like the CEDAW's, submission to address, and also at the same time urge the South African government to act and take action on certain specific issues.
Yes, we have. So obviously the most important one is to seek immediate regulation of Muslim marriages, which would be through legislation, and we want some kind of laws to be amended that actually recognizes the marriages. We then also asked for a regulatory framework which holds marriage officers accountable to their discriminatory practices. We've also asked for additional resources to be put into courts and legal aid clinics so that there is easy access to justice for Muslim women and for women generally in South Africa. And the state should be providing this kind of support and put in resources into the various departments. Department of Social Development needs this because there's lots of women who are abused, and money should be put into shelters. We have a shortage of shelters in South Africa. And finally, we do ask that there should be proper advocacy, where the state should actually consult with with women communities and the women in communities to understand their lived reality. So this is like advocacy from the state with the actual people who are facing and who are the face of the discrimination that we face because of the lack of recognition.
Yes. Now, clearly, this has been an ongoing discussion. It's been a debate that's been going on for the last few years, and it does appear there is no end in sight, because we've got divergent views as far as Muslim personal law goes, as far as recognition of marriages go. The question of Sharia obviously comes in as well, and at the end of the day, this needs to be put to bed, Zinat. At some point in time, we need to find a common ground, but also at the same time for the government to take these matters seriously, that these are areas of major concern, and you've highlighted some of them. And we know that when it comes to women, when it comes to regulation of marriages, we don't have the capacity within ourselves to deal with the variety of problems that we experience on a day-to-day basis.
Sure. I mean, there are divergent views, but I also think that, the prejudice that's faced, obviously it is trumps everything else that we have. So the only way that we are going to be able to reach some kind of consensus on how we deal with this is through regulation, because then we would have access to the courts in a much easier way. But even then, I mean, it's an expensive litigation process. So I would definitely say that the Constitutional Court judgment would at least give us some kind of guidance, it's a state guidance on how to address the issue. Definitely, if the Constitutional Court would render that all of the pieces of legislation that are regulating civil marriages currently would incorporate Muslim personal law, that means that we would have access to other forms, to all the legal fora that we have. So we would have access to the courts much easily. Women would, our marriages would be recognized in totality. So divorces and maintenance, and Muslim women wouldn't be left with no recourse. So I think that I think once this is going to be embedded in our law, it obviously creates an easier pathway for women to receive the redress that we've been looking for years and decades. And I think that is as much. I think that this is a process which would impress upon the state to take the measures to amend legislation, to regulate legislation. We've had so many bills, and currently as well, we've had a few bills that were introduced this year, and we don't know if it is going to come into effect. So I think that this process will definitely put some pressure on the state to act and start recognizing religious marriages.
Well, Zinat, we do appreciate you taking time out, talking to us this morning on Salam Media and all the other platforms that we are reaching out to this morning. We wish you all the best, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Zinat Suji, attorney with the Muslim Personal Law Network, and this was a submission that was made to CEDAW, which is the Convention on the Elimination on all forms of discrimination against women, calling for specific actions, and at the same time making or urging the South African government to act on the matter with regards to non-regulation of Muslim marriages in the country. The time is just here at 8:45. We come back and we pay tribute to the late Wahid Kamruddin.
Blessings and beauty of winter. The less fortunate in South Africa are preparing for the harsh realities that this season may bring. Africa Muslims agencies on the ground distributing blankets, clothing and other essentials to thousands across the country. Sponsor a winter warmth pack for 280 rands. Call Africa Muslims Agency now on 011 834 8685. Spread warmth this winter with Africa Muslims Agency.
Osman's Taj Mahal Spice and Rice. For over 80 years, Osman's Taj Mahal have been perfecting the art of the perfect blend of spices, pure, aromatic, and well-seasoned. Spices to tantalize your taste buds. From creative cuisines to gastronomical gourmet goodies. From exotic odors to traditional dishes, Osman's Taj Mahal have remained synonymous with quality spices and condiments. Taj Mahal rice, beans, and lentils. Try our range of chili bite mixes, rose and ilachi syrup, our quick and easy biryani pack, and our traditional range of spice blends. Osman's Taj Mahal. There is no substitute for quality.
World-class financial services only at Sapphire Global, your financial partner. If you are looking for Islamic Sharia and ethical financial products, look no further. Sapphire Global offers a wide range of financial service offerings from short-term to life and investments.
a full-service center with all financial requirements under one brand. Our highly skilled and experienced consultants are ready to help protect your financial future. Contact us on 041 001 0184 or visit our website on www.sapphireglobalfs.com. Sapphire Global is an authorized financial services provider.
A strip of land with over 2 million people blockaded for 13 years. Healthcare is on its knees, food is scarce, and water is inadequate. COVID has wreaked havoc in the lives of the people of Gaza. 53% of the population live below the poverty line. 80% of Gaza relies on external aid to survive. And 20,000 children are now orphans. The future is bleak. Please, don't forget Gaza. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Africa. For your convenience, the Africa Muslims Agency's Durban office has moved to 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, Durban. Our friendly staff are eagerly awaiting to receive, advise, and share with you the current ongoing campaigns and projects that you have been supporting for the last 35 years. Visit us at 797 Jan Smuts Highway, Sherwood, or call 031 207 5676. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
These days, I'm more health conscious than ever. So tonight it's stir fry for dinner, cooked in healthy Helios pure sunflower cooking oil. Helios is pure sunflower goodness, packed with omega-6. That's good for your heart and is approved as part of the Heart and Stroke Foundation eating plan.
Dinner's ready!
Helios, pure sunflower cooking oil. A healthy family is a happy one.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
The time is just gone 11 minutes to 9 a.m. as we continue with the broadcast this morning. Now, many of us are familiar with the Lenasia Times, particularly those in the Lands area, the Greater Johannesburg, and also in the Greater Gauteng area, where the Lenasia Times has made its mark. And sadly, we learned of the passing away of Wahid Kamruddin, the owner of the Lenasia Times. Rahimahumullah, we make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fill his qabr was nur inshallah and grant him the highest stages in Jannah. And this morning we are paying tribute to the late Wahid Kamruddin. We joined this morning by his son Wasim Kamruddin. Wasim, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and welcome.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope you can hear me well.
Yes, loud and clear, Wasim, and obviously our condolences, our sympathies go with you and the family on the passing away of your dad. And it is clear that he was a giant in his own right. We make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy on you, on the rest of the family as well. And also pray for the forgiveness of your dad, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him the highest stages in Jannah, inshallah.
Jazakallah for that, brother.
Yes, now as I mentioned, the Lenasia Times very, very popular, making its mark for many, many years. And right at the forefront as the owner of the Lenasia Times. It is clear that your late father had a vision when he took ownership of the Lenasia Times in terms of what this publication would mean for society at large and also for the community of Lenasia and surrounding areas.
No, he started it in about 1976 with a vision to obviously provide news and informative content for the people of Lenasia. At the time, Lenasia was still a developing suburb as part of the Group Areas Act, as many of your listeners would probably know. And he had a vision to now provide informative news content to the people of Lenasia, and thus started the newspaper in 1976, which is almost 45 years ago. And Alhamdulillah, it's still going strong and still a very integral part of Lenasia, and not just Lenasia, but perhaps the entire Gauteng region, especially within the broader Indian community of Gauteng.
Yes. Now, often, Wasim, we don't recognize the achievements of people until, sadly, after they are gone. And as you mentioned, 1976, which is 45 years later. Now, that alone is a lifetime as far as the publication of the Lenasia Times go. Give us an insight into your father in terms of his life, his passion. What was he? What did he hope to achieve in life?
My father was obviously born in India, and they emigrated to South Africa in the early 1950s. He initially stayed in Kliptown. They grew up in extreme poverty. And as he grew up, his goal was to study initially political science. But due to obviously then still being apartheid and most Indian people weren't allowed to study, and also the fact that he wasn't from a very well-off family meant he could not pursue that dream. But after working for a while, he always had an interest in media and wanted to do something within media, and thus started a newspaper which he saw as ideal for the suburb of Lenasia, which is a fairly new suburb at the time. And basically the newspaper he started grew with the town of Lenasia, and he committed his whole life to the newspaper, and I would say he did an excellent job in covering not just news of Lenasia, but news that affected the broader community throughout Gauteng, especially the Indian community. He did a very good job in that sense. And
Yes.
and he lived his life doing media until, unfortunately, in 2009 he took quite ill. He had a stroke, and that incapacitated him and meant he could no longer work in the media. And that's obviously when we decided to continue his work on his behalf.
Well, you guys have done an excellent job as well, Wasim. And if I recall, in those days, many of us were only exposed to the mainstream media when one looks at print media, in particular looking at newspapers. And Lenasia Times in the Gauteng region and the greater region was possibly one of the first publications that was specifically aimed at a specific group or ethnic group. Wasim, I think we have lost Wasim. We're going to try and get hold of him again. Wasim, can you hear us? No. Okay, we have lost Wasim Kamruddin, and we are paying tribute to his late dad, Wahid Kamruddin. And as Wasim mentioned, since 1976 now, the Lenasia Times, and we see many other publications now, community-based publications that are making their mark aimed at specific communities, and also at the same time providing useful information with regards to communities and community events that have been taking place, and also people that have made their mark in communities, issues that impact on us on a day-to-day basis as specific communities. And there is this great need for community-based media, whether it's digital media, print media, and media in all forms. And this is where people like the late Wahid Kamruddin played such a major role in ensuring that through publications like the Lenasia Times, they actually make their mark, and the support, and this is actually quite phenomenal when one looks at the support that has been given to community-based media, and recognizing the achievements of people behind the media. I believe Wasim is back with us. Wasim, sorry about that. We need to apologize. We had a break in communication. Wasim?
Apologies for that.
Yes, Wasim, just
Apologies for that tonight. I presume it's probably a network issue.
Not a problem. That's fine. We do understand. Now, Wasim, the good work that your late father had started, and you continuing, and I suppose he has left a legacy, but also he has left behind capable people, extremely capable people who he's mentored, he's tutored over a period of time to continue with this legacy. Well, it does appear as if the network issues are playing out pretty strongly, and we must apologize to our viewers, our listeners. This is something that is not in our control. Unfortunately, we cannot hear Wasim. We're going to have to try and see if we can't do this interview at another time when Wasim gets into a better area from a network perspective. And this is the drawback, because we are coming to you live from the IEC results operations center, and we are covering quite the elections today being the last day. It is at 6 p.m. We have learned that the IEC will be making the final announcement as far as the results are concerned. We are expecting political parties to converge in their numbers at the IEC Results Center throughout the day for the announcement. But just looking at where we are at this point in time, well over 97% of the votes have been counted. And at this point in time, the numbers pretty much reflecting the state of the country. Looking at the ANC losing support, taking somewhat of a bruising at around 45.95%, so not achieving that magical 50% mark which they hope to. The DA also taking a bit of a knock, 21.2%, the EFF at around 10%, and the IFP at 5.69%. As far as the municipalities are concerned, we have learned of 62 hung municipalities versus 27 in the 2016 election. So we're going to see coalition politics playing a more prominent role this time around at municipal governance level, and also looking at the larger metros, looking at Nelson Mandela Bay, eThekwini, Ekurhuleni, Mangaung, Tshwane, and also Gauteng. There is no clear outright majority in 5 of these large metros, and also looking at the dwindling support base of the African National Congress in traditional strongholds like Mpumalanga, like the Free State, and the ANC has cause for concern as the ruling party, and also looking at the strategies behind coalition government. We will be taking a lot more discussion. We will be taking a lot more analysis. In fact, we have got political analysts. We've got Professor Andre Duvenage will be joining us at around 9:20 a.m. to put this election into context and to provide some analysis. How do we read into the numbers? How do we read into the outcome? And also some of the individual political parties making their positions very, very clear as far as coalition politics go. The ANC talking about the most support, having the right to govern, and the DA talking about legal contracts, coalition contracts. Action SA won't get into bed with the ANC. The EFF, a contrastingly divergent ideology from the rest at the far left, and also many of the smaller parties who I would presume have a major role to play, and will be the focus of some of the larger political parties as far as kingmakers go in the coalition. The time is headed for 9 a.m. We're going to go for a break. We'll be back.